The World Cup champion will be crowned this week, and you can trade the tourney through the finals on Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Right now, England is trading at 44% to beat Spain, meaning 100 trade pays out 176 if they win. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code HOOPS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Being outside is good for us. It's that simple. And trails make it easy for us to walk, bike, and be active outside in our own backyards. On the trail, we see people moving, connecting with their communities, making the places where they live great. For 40 years, Rails to Trails Conservancy has led the way, creating trails across the country, making it safer and easier for everyone to get outside. They want you to get involved. Find your trail and start your journey today at railstotrails.org/iHeart and follow at Rails to Trails on social.
Hey y'all, welcome to Geek Freaks. I am Frank, and today I'm joined by Squeaks.
Squeakers?
Squeakers. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a couple trailers to go through, teasers and trailers and whatnot. Some live actions and reboots across the board from the Naruto to Let's first start with our first of the week. So, we got X-Men out right now, X-Men 97. We're all excited about that. Which X-Men would you want running the government? Specifically, let's go with President, VP, and Secretary of State. Do you have an answer ready for this? Because I do.
I do. We're going to go back and forth, like you pick your president, I pick my president?
Oh, I like that idea. Let's do that. Yeah, so you go president first then.
Okay. I don't know if we have similars, but I feel like this could be something that you would pick as well as a president. For a president, I went with Storm. I feel like before she's, I don't want to say ruled, but, like govern, like Wakanda. Can be unifying, but she also carries like that iron fist that still don't mess with her in a way, but she will, if you're gonna test her, then you'll find out. That's super funny because I put a note saying knows how to balance complex global factions, without losing her integrity. That was a note here, so I picked Storm as president. What about you?
That's very good. For me, my president is Emma Frost. Now, Emma Frost. Yeah, she could be a little, you're not sure if you're liking her or hating her one week or another, but she is fiercely diplomatic. And I think the way she can tie up governments and stuff like that, I think the way she can manage relationships, both domestic and abroad, I believe she has an ironclad focus and, a bunch of clone daughters that would end up falling in line too. Psychic abilities, I think, would be quite helpful in negotiations. She would be able to.
Okay. Wow, using powers. Okay.
Oh, you better. You might as well. Especially because the idea is that she's on your side. So yeah, she's gonna be great as long as she's on our side. So I know that there's times when Emma Frost is not on our side, and then that's not a problem. That's not great, but this one will work out for us. Who's your Veep?
Nice. Okay, so Veep, I like that. I picked Cyclops because he's more of the worker type. I know he's groomed to lead, but he's really I want that guy to always be in that kind of press conference, doing the interviews and stuff like that.
He's very hands-on.
I got him as some notes here. Cyclops is someone I would want in the situation room, drafting contingency plans and whatnot. I feel like he's that person. I feel he doesn't have to be like a president just showing face, but he's actually getting his hands dirty.
Not to push back on your pick though, but man, when he's a little hot-headed, and that's I think the funnest part of him sometimes is he gets a little hot-headed. So I'm like, what happens if he's supposed to be in some tight negotiations and somebody insults his mom or something like that? And what's he gonna do? Is he gonna punch Dimension to the face?
That's where my next person comes in. So
okay. My Veep is someone I know you like because it's Storm. I picked Storm as my Veep because she's very global minded, at this point cosmic minded. I think that she's able to kind of also balance the environmental dangers that we got going on. If anybody of the X-Men is going to know about the environmental dangers, it's probably Storm. I think she would know about climate change and could quite literally fix it. So I think Storm's a good pick for that one.
Yeah, right.
Secretary of State. Who do you got?
Okay, my Secretary of State is going to be Beast. Okay. Let's see, I got...
Just before you go too far, I have the exact same Secretary of State.
Okay.
Yeah.
his sheer intellect alone allows him to out negotiate anyone. Is how I have it. But he's also like bringing in that class and that charm. So I feel like he could go into any type of
He is a
briefing
classy
and come
gentleman.
out as a winner. Why'd you
He's
have
the
him?
epitome of cooler minds prevail. Like cooler heads prevail. He just is always keeping it chill. Yes, he can turn on a dime, and I think even just his presence would be quite intimidating for people he
Yeah.
is trying to discuss things with. And I just can't think of a better X-Men to represent America on the foreign stage, because that's what the Secretary of State is doing. And I would just feel like, yeah, he's one of the best. Like he just
Yeah.
represents everybody super well. And I feel like what an asset too, if you were to like plop him in the middle of a country that has a dire need. Not only is he going to be like, I'm representing America, blah, blah, blah. By the way, I could cure a disease while I'm here too. That's going to be really good for us. So
Yeah.
I think he'd be fantastic.
Who would you not
any
want to
other
see in that? See.
Yeah, I mean Magneto, right? Because it's like
Okay.
he could flip so fast. Apocalypse,
Yeah.
of course, because now
I
it's
picked
Apocalypse.
Logan. I was like, Logan, just see him at a table and just take him off a little bit, and he'll just climb over that table
Yeah.
and just claw everything.
If we went to Secretary of Defense, I was thinking Logan, just because like he's seen all the war strategies for the last like 150
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he's one of the most
That's smart.
strategically
smart.
minded, probably because he's been in those battles himself.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah,
All right, everybody, let us know on social medias or in the comments, because you can now comment on like Spotify and whatnot. Who would you want to be running our government from the X-Men universe? Let's get right into it. We're going to be doing some reactions here. We got the Dune Part 3 trailer. Squeaks, you are the one that read the book on this. So after looking at this trailer, I know, well, it's better than me because it's on my to-do list. And as you know, I'm in a Dungeon Crawler Carl mood right now.
Yeah.
This was the IMAX trailer. Yeah, we will at the end for sure.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous trailer. I think it's, to me, really showing that like Paul is not the good guy anymore.
Yeah.
And despite whatever all my comments say, what was your take on this after watching it?
Like what you said, extremely cinematic, a lot of action. We're probably expecting like a 3.5 hour movie. What I've noticed the difference right away was that the book was not very climatic like it was. It was just more of like telling you what happened. Like, okay, here's a paragraph. This is the battle, whatever. So I'm really excited to see with this movie of what that battle, is, and point of view. So really excited about that. Really excited to see like other characters playing roles of like Florence Pugh's is the princess, and I want to see that dynamic happen because that is just a business transaction between him and Atreus. What's the guy's main character's name? Tell me out.
Paul Atreides.
Paul Atreides. I said Atreus like it's God of War. How that relationship works on that professional level, and how it's going to interfere with Zendaya's. I don't remember all the names. Sorry about that, but Zendaya's character. There you go. I also really like
you read this book, like, right?
Hey, I read this book when the first movie came out, so it's been
a little bit. Yeah,
it's been long enough. I don't have.
They're definitely making her a bigger character too. By the way, like she's a bigger character than I know that she is in that book too.
Yeah,
so like pivotal
for sure. Yeah, and then there are some things that I thought. Well, one thing specifically that I thought we would have seen with the trailer, and they did a good job with not showing that. And I'm not gonna say it here just in case I'm gonna spoil anything.
I think I know what you're talking about, but also don't spoil it.
Yeah, probably like what the next books entail. Yeah, exactly. But it looks awesome, and it looks an effect of that. There's always going to be kind of like it's going to feel like a roller coaster, right? It's going to have its like diplomatic areas, and then it's going to be like whoa, and then it's going to go back to whatever, and then get the thing going on. Kind of excited to see Robert Pattinson to be able to play a villain again. So yeah.
Yeah, his character is interesting because it's a villain, but it's also like, but is he fighting for the right thing? It almost feels like he is, right? From the outside viewer, and I know that might not be the same thing. He's a face dancer, so he's able to change his appearance. The co-writer on this, so Denis Villeneuve was one of the co-writers, who's the director from all of them. But the other one is Brian K. Vaughan. He's the writer of Saga, so the comic book series that we all love.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, so boom, global affairs on lock. I mean, I can't think of much better, like cosmic, global politics and stuff like that. It's all going to be really good. I think they're taking some of the little stories and expanding them for the action moments. Specifically, you see them trying to do the worm heist. And I know that was very short in the books, but it feels like it's a huge action set piece in this. So maybe what they're doing is they're taking little slices out of the book and expanding those to make a good movie, because Denise said this is actually his favorite of all three movies. And so I'm like, well, the second one's fantastic. So that's saying something.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they're doing. Because like I said, like a battle might last a paragraph, but it
Yeah.
no way seems like what we're getting in this trailer. So that has to be what they're doing to stretch this along. Because again, these three movies are based off of two books, so I mean, somewhere it's going to get stretched. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, on the screen.
And then with Channing being more involved, and we know that, of course, Paul's two kids are going to be involved too, which one of them is Jason Momoa's real life son. Do we know? Do you have any ideas on what they might be doing with Channing to expand her character?
Hmm. I think we're just gonna like kind of like what they showed in the trailer. I think we're just gonna get those her battling her emotions more because of what's
That's so boring.
Atreus is going. It is, but that's all I see really. And then her throwing
Well,
his
I think they're
her
kind of
probably just
setting her
sniffing
up
some
to
of
be
that
the foil.
blue magic dust too. You know, I mean, those guys
Well,
are
I mean,
very blue now.
and she needs to share the blue magic dust. But I have to me, I think they're trying to pitch her as like, this is the one key we can get to beat Paul is Channing, and I'm like, I don't
Hmm.
know that that would ever be the case. Could you get those vibes at all?
Yeah, because he's essentially. Oh wow, I don't know. I wouldn't like that at all, though, right? Because he's essentially
But
this
doesn't the
extremely
trailer feel like
powerful
that's what
towards
they're
the end.
trying to do? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. I just didn't think that because obviously reading the books or
Because you
whatever,
know what's
I
gonna
was
happen.
kind of just
Yeah.
looking at like what I remember of. But wow, yeah, kind of, yeah, it does. Huh? That'd be nuts.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I think
hopefully
this
what I'm
might be
here
the
for.
biggest departure from the books then of all three movies, and from what we've seen already, just has to be,
Hmm.
frankly. Then it is.
Hmm. You think they would do something drastic like that, or just kind of stick with the
I think
material?
they're going to. I think they're going to have to
Hmm.
because they're going to do a second season of the HBO series, which does kind of expand on the Benny Gesserit and all that. Uh, I don't think they can keep going with this movie franchise. We know that they can't,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah.
if they wanted to expand, I think they would just bring it to HBO as well because what happens to Paul and all that after all this is very much like, okay, this can't be on big screen anymore. This is something that's got to be told long form through a TV series. I think it's
So
just a little
you
too
don't.
crazy.
So your opinion, you don't think they'll branch out to what the next books entail?
Do you think they would do that? I don't think so. I don't think that they would do it in a movie. I think they would do it in a TV show.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. You
I
think
think
it
they're
just doesn't
actually.
have enough pull?
I don't think it has enough pull. I think Dune does
Hmm.
well, but I think it's complete after Dune 2, really. But I will say Dune 3. I think they can make it complete there. But I think
Okay.
everything else is so stretched out,
Okay.
that you might
Okay.
as well just make that a TV show. I
Got it.
think that they're actually going to be budget wise replacing Dune with Game of Thrones because Game of Thrones is taking Aegon's Conquest and putting that in the theaters, and I think they're going to make that into a trilogy. And so I think that's what they're doing. They're shifting their epics money over
Mm,
to the other franchise now, and then
okay.
basically those two will
Okay.
switch spots.
Okay. Okay.
That's my prediction.
Now, because I know you've watched the first season of Dune, I guess you could say anticipation for season two slash. Is this something you kind of care about or would want to care about going in the future?
Don't care about it, but
Okay.
that final episode was like, yeah, sons of bitches,
Mm,
you got
mm.
me just enough to tune in for season two, and
Yeah. Okay.
it was just enough. The Harkonnen, like it's building the Harkonnen family a lot too, so that's kind of one of the big things for me. It had just enough interesting characters. Yeah, it was tough to get through that
Mm,
first season, but that last episode, all right, you
okay.
bastards.
That's kind of like
Enough
what
things
Lord of the
clicked
Rings
together.
did for me. Gosh, Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
Rings
Rings
of
of Power
Power.
had a real problem with that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Goodness. Okay. Okay.
We'll
Okay.
have to see.
All right.
All right. Moving on to let's go to Shrek 5. You
Yeah,
had a
man.
chance to watch this one. I think the
Yeah.
animation looks good. Everybody was so worried about the
Yeah.
animation on I thought it looks fun. Yes, it's different, but also we're different. It's been
Yeah.
20 freaking years. Everybody calm down. But I think it looks good, and I have a feeling that we're going to be shifting over to the three kids for a lot of story,
Mm,
which Zendaya's back. Zendaya is going to
yeah.
be playing the daughter of the group. I think it's going to be fun. I'm excited to
Yeah.
return to this world. I
Yeah.
like the
Most
little Olaf
definitely.
joke too, by the way.
Yeah. 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 Most definitely. I think the animation looks wonderful. It's crazy to see how. I mean, it's kind of like the Toy Story thing, right? If you compare the first one to this one, how
Oh god, it's
smooth
crazy.
and
Yeah.
fast they move, and just the movements really between the characters, and what was stunning to me. I'm not sure, which is what I like, but I'm sure we'll probably get a spoil later. Is I couldn't tell too much of what the story's gonna be about. Did you catch that right? Oh, okay, let's make sure I didn't miss anything. But yeah, I'm hoping the
Yeah.
kids dynamic is gonna be pretty funny. Parents, kids, whatever, and then the differences between each other, like modern, like real life families.
Yeah.
Laugh about
There's
that.
going to be some like classic comparisons and stuff like that, like back in my day kind of thing. We
Yeah.
also have Donkey's kids that I'm assuming are going to pop up, which we have seen a little bit of them. And they basically just look like Donkey, but with like some red spots on them.
Yeah.
And then the Shrek's kids. So here it is. Zendaya's playing Felicia. We have Marcelo Hernandez, which is from SNL. He's playing Fergus. And Skylar Gazando's playing Farkle. Skylar's all over the place. He's Righteous Gemstones. He's Jimmy Olsen in Superman. And he's one of the three kids as well.
Yeah.
So I think that they're kind of like, those are just big enough to kind of carry the show forward if they wanted to keep going. Because, Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz, they're all getting up there. And I can't imagine them doing this forever. Yeah.
No. And with the three kids, though, if they're, we already kind of predicted that they were going to be a massive part of the thing. But if you think about it, if you look at the jail scene, there's only two kids in there. So it's like, okay, one's going to probably pan out to the one kid and save the day.
And of course, that was going to be Zendaya.
Yeah. As it should be. Yeah.
Of course. That's the one you're paying the money for. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's directed by Walt Dorn and Conrad Vernon, who did the first ones. Nice. 2 and 3, I'm sure. 2 and 3.
Nice.
And so I'm like, okay, 2 is probably the best. I think 2 is probably the best Shrek movie. What do you think?
2 is that the Justin Timberlake one? Or
that's 3.
Which one's 2? That's 3. Okay, which one was 2? You can remind me.
God, no, is that
you just said it was the best one? So
no, that's so Justin Timberlake, I believe, is on 3. So 2 is with the fairy godmother, and where Shrek gets turned into a human.
Oh, but then Justin Timberlake's in that one, though. Yeah,
he is in that one. But the third one, I think, is like Justin Timberlake's the main villain.
Yeah. Okay.
Now I'm gonna have to rewatch fucking Shrek, dude. Damn it.
Yeah, I know, right? So I think the first one is still gonna always be my favorite. But if I had to compare another one to, like, take that one away and think of another one, yeah, number 2 is pretty phenomenal.
Do you think these movies are just for the millennials? I don't even. Are your kids gonna be excited for a Shrek movie?
My kids are excited because I've introduced Shrek to them. So they know all about Shrek.
Done the job.
The Universal Studios. Yeah, I've done what any good parent would do, right? Introduce Shrek to the family. Yeah. So, yeah, they're excited for it. Yeah.
Okay. Because to me, I'm like, I'm not even sure how you market these to kids anymore. Like the Puss in Boots one, I think was enough of a change in animation.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm like, it feels new. But, man, I don't know. Sometimes I'm not even sure who the market is anymore. Pretty clear.
Yeah.
Then we just got a teaser, guys, right before we started pressing record. So we haven't been able to break it down or really look at it too much. Crystal Lake, you know about horror movies more than I do. This is our Friday the 13th prequel. What are some of the initial takes after seeing this thing? Because again, it looks like it's going to be about the mom. What do you think?
Yeah. So very much about the mom. I did not think that. It took me a second to realize the actress here playing the mom. I know I'm gonna have to like Google names here. Have you help me out here? It's kind of interesting because she's like the star, right? But I was thinking like, oh, she's probably the one running away from like the trouble. Actually, no. Yeah, she's definitely got to be the mom now. Watching this trailer, and I'm excited to see her. I guess kind of make these like plots. I guess of killing. I think I'm ready to see that because
she instills that on Jason, right? Jason.
Yeah, so Jason in the first one never seen anything until they kind of highlight it in the trailer of someone swimming in the lake, and then this monster kid kind of pops out and grabs him, and then cut, right? So the first one is very heavily on the mom. So now, will that disappoint maybe people that were expecting that, which you should have been, because this was pretty much a trailer or a prequel. But Jason is what's drawn people in, right? So my question for you now, if you were, watching the show and Jason is not in it, does that deter you away at all?
I think I'd be cool with it because I really like this. So, boy, who knows if anybody remembers this? Netflix did a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest prequel. Boy, that's a weird sentence.
Okay.
Called Ratchet. You remember Ratchet, the nurse show that only had one season? They should have done more. And it was all about the crazy, mean nurse from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Nurse Ratchet. And they gave her own series, and it just lasted one season. And it was fantastic. It had nothing to do with the original movie, frankly.
Okay.
But it just took an interesting character and expanded on it. And I think that is the kind of thing I'm actually into. Because I'm like, there's all kinds of interesting characters that dot these movies, especially horror movies, that don't get any time in the sun. Ratchet was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to go back on the actress name, Linda Card and Lenny. I know I'm probably saying
that's the one from DTF?
Yes.
Okay.
And then, she is playing Pamela Voorhees, so spoiler.
That's your answer right there. Freaking Google. Google's the third host. Did you finish DTF, by the way?
Yes, I have, yeah. Have you?
That last episode, man, yeah, of course. I was just like, this is the weirdest show ever. I cannot believe how much I've stuck with it, but it's like so weird. It's so weird. I don't know what else to say about it, honestly.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that show, each episode does enough to just keep you like, oh, I gotta keep tuning in. Like it just does
Yeah.
something where it's like I gotta know what happens next week. I
Their
gotta see.
performances,
And then at the
everything
end of
about it.
it's just he offed himself. So it's
It
like,
was
oh
exactly
damn, we
what
thought it was
you'd
this
expect.
big
Yeah.
mystery. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
like,
hide
okay.
the embarrassment, I guess, and that was like the mystery of it, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Funny.
what a story. It was like reading a book from the library that you know you're never gonna go buy. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
such a downer. Not a downer, but just so okay. But really good
Yeah.
performances. Actually, it's got some Emmy nods too. It's crazy.
Oh wow.
Naruto. See, I made sure when I do these outlines, I got to know who's going to be on, so I can make sure to aim. So this is the Squeaks
right.
outline. If you notice, because Naruto, I remember you and me going to Art and Fair Mall, and they had that like just DVDs. Kids DVDs were a thing. DVD section, and you'd go for all the Naruto stuff. Tell me, they're making a Naruto live action movie. They're casting for Team 7, so the main 3 kids out of Team 7 or of the movie. I'm sorry. And first off, am I saying Naruto right? Because I got people talking shit about it on TikTok. Is that the way you say it? Naruto?
I mean, I think it's Naruto. I always pronounce it Naruto still. I always say Naruto.
Okay, there we go. See, right away, I'm already doing wrong. If you were to cast this movie, do you want to go young kids, or do you want to try to go towards like the later stories when he's older?
Okay, so the later stories is where it's at. That's where you see any
That's what I
potential
hear.
like amazing video clips, gifs, or whatever. But it's like, yeah, I guess, do you want to establish, if you go later, right, then you're already just targeting people that just know about Naruto. Okay. If you go early, then maybe
Okay.
you could potentially bring people in. But how many people are you really bringing in, right? So if I wasn't in like a perfect world of where I want to be at, I want to go to Naruto Shippuden, and that's where everything starts. And yeah, some of the greatest things ever. Yeah. Heartfelt
Okay.
stories. I freaking cried watching this anime at one point. Oh my gosh, just balling in the work, because all I ever do at work is just watch anime anyway. So just balling in the office. Like people think I'm just stressing over work. No, I'm
Why
not.
are you moving for your work then, you son of a bitch?
So just watch it somewhere else.
For the different Wi-Fi, duh.
Yeah. Oh shit. But
So
that's
could they
what
do
I want.
flashbacks to the kids then? Like maybe they'll do like older and then like flashback to kids stuff. Is
Yeah,
there
but how
anything
boring-
important in the younger years?
Well, I would say, I mean, upbringing. Naruto was always that outcast. Nobody liked him, but all he really wanted to do was be loved. But then again,
Yeah.
hey, he's got a secret power to him. How did that power get into him in a way? The Nine Tails Fox. So, I mean, there's times, but then if too many flashbacks, would it get boring or would it draw it out, right?
Yeah. Fair.
I don't know what the plan is with this. If it's a couple movies, a trilogy, or some sort. But it would
Right
be
now
a
we have only
lot.
just one movie confirmed, but they're bringing
Yeah.
in Destin Daniel Cretton. He's the director who did Shang-Chi. He does Spider-Man Brand New Day. He did Wonder Man, which I thought was such a surprise hit. So
Okay.
if they're bringing in that director, it's like they're making a franchise.
Yeah. An anime on the big screen that's live action, right? That's what we're looking at. That's
Yeah.
different, right? Have we seen this before? I mean,
Not seriously.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen like Dragon Ball Z, but we've never seen something like
Yeah.
where they got a good director and they put a real budget behind it.
Yeah, because I never seen a successful one. I mean, I could go back to. I mean, I was new to this, and I'm pretty sure you were upset, and everyone in the audience or in the theater was definitely upset. What was the last Avatar?
Ooh.
So I was sitting there like,
Yes.
oh, it's not bad. This is pre knowing anything about Avatar. It's not bad.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
booing and shit. But I haven't really seen like I feel like a successful live action. I've seen like Netflix where they did Death Note. I actually really like that one.
Well, and they
But
did like,
yeah,
and
I
the
don't know.
series are great. Like One Piece, I think is a great adaptation for what I know of
Yeah.
One Piece. You know,
So
but
on the
this
big
is going to be a
screen,
movie,
I
so
don't
it's a
know.
lot to fit into one movie.
Yeah, I don't know how successful that'll be. So that's the worrisome there. But yeah, if I wanted to see it, I wanted to see it much older because yeah, the big story's hit.
So Kishimoto, the creator for Naruto, he actually gave it his blessing. He said, quote, "Right now, miracles are happening to me, one after another." Literally, the fact that Destin is directing this is the thing that said, okay, yes, let's make this happen. And I'm like, if I were a Naruto fan, these are all the stars lining up that I'd want to line up.
Okay.
I would be pretty happy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't have too much expectations from this, really.
Yeah,
So,
it's because of the anime curse, which was the video game adaptation curse, right? Like there used to be a thing where it's like, never just a video game adaptation.
Yeah.
We're okay now. They're doing a global casting search first for the first 3 kids, and then for the rest of the cast afterwards. Should you send in a demo tape? What do you think?
I think I get. I mean, no, I don't think so. I have a better chance of playing Naruto than I do anything else. So I don't think I'm gonna work well with these guys.
If you want, is there any character you would be the right age
Gara.
or build for?
Oh,
Gara?
no.
I don't. If you're joking, let me know because I have no clue.
Okay, I would. Age. I don't know. Put a wig on me. I would love to play like an older version of Gara. Maybe he's just one of my favorite characters. All he does, he has this massive pot on his back. He holds. I actually have a backpack of that pot, and he controls sand essentially. So
let's make a demo reel of you trying to be this character. I'll edit everything for you, clean it up, and we will submit it. What do you think?
Let's do it. I got the.
Let's do it. Squeaks is going to be on the next Naruto, guys. Hell yeah.
I'll look at wigs now.
Okay, let's do it. We'll take it out of Patreon money.
That's so super
Nightmare on Elm Street's getting a reboot. This is after finally finding a new home. So Paramount closed the deal with the Wes Craven estate for the U.S. rights to the Craven's origin story. So, abroad, it's still going to be under the old deal. But so they decided they're going to be tapping the team that made Barbarian, Weapons, and Companion to be making this. It's going to be a complete reboot of the franchise. I think Nightmare on Elm Street is one of those stories that can transcend the 80s slasher flicks. I mean, Halloween's my favorite one. But in a modern world, especially, you have to really use, some disbelief. You have to ignore all the disbelief in your mind when you're watching this. Like, where's a cell phone, kids? Why are you not calling for help? Or just walk faster than he's walking, or anything like that. Same thing with Friday the 13th. Call home. Cell phones are in everybody's pockets. All that, but with Nightmare on Elm Street, you go to sleep, Freddy's in your mind, and the idea that a pervert got burnt down in a gym or whatever, that could happen today. Yeah, it could be anything that could happen. So I really think that Nightmare on Elm Street is one of those stories that actually could work today just fine. And I mean, you could be drinking, like, could even modernize it. Like, I'm drinking Red Bull right now to try to stay awake so Freddy doesn't get me. And then boom, Red Bull's paying for some of the movie. I think this could work out quite well.
Oh yeah, and you could be definitely wacky with it, right? Because it's in dreams, so there's no really like limits or anything that could happen that really just would take you out of the film, right? So I think this would be good. But the last remake was just so when they tried bringing this back. So I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, there's more to it. I don't know. That's all I got. There's no high expectations for me with this. Yeah.
Really, I actually do have kind of high expectations because the Craven estate is still staying attached. His son is one of the producers. I think that's pretty good.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, the Halloweens were great. I enjoyed the Halloween remakes, or it's kind of remakes, but
I did too.
Not
I mean,
really
there's hit and miss. The last one was less great than others, but I think it was better than like the later Halloweens. I think H20 was the only thing that kind of gave it a second breath before that. So I do have some hope for this, and again, bringing in the Barbarian team, I think is a good choice. The only flag I've got on this, of course, is New Line still owns the rights internationally. So, gosh, for all of our listeners that are outside of the States, this might be harder for you to watch. It might become a mess to watch. But when the time comes out, I think we got to watch this one for sure. Just because I think Freddy, man, he deserves to come back. I think he's gonna be really good. Do you think Robert Englund would get a cameo at least? Yeah, he can't play Freddy anymore, right? He's too ancient.
Yeah, I guess he's pretty old for it now. But I would imagine he would. I mean, anything like a Stan Lee in the cameo in a Marvel movie, it's kind of like has to be him, right? He's so iconic. But I don't know what that cameo would be. Really, it'd be funny to would two Freddys come across each other in a dream? That'd be kind of fine, like quickly.
That would be really
if I was going way out, then just like someone, wonder if because so like the actor playing Freddy, right? You're full of makeup, right? Wonder if they do like a quick backstory type thing of him being burnt, right? And it just plays like as the original Freddy guy. I don't know.
Or they could just, I guess, I was thinking like just having Robert be like, oh, he's the principal of the school.
I was trying to something like a little bit extra than that, but yeah, you're right. It's probably going to be something like that. Yeah.
Maybe I should reach out to Robert for an interview. Would you want to interview him?
Oh, that'd be nuts. What? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll reach out to him. I'll see if I can get an interview with him.
Okay.
I was just thinking, because we're at the point now, guys, a little behind the scenes stuff. when you're planning podcasts, you have to plan them out months ahead of time and stuff like that, especially if you want a guest on involved. But like, we're at the point where I have to start planning in the October guests. That seems like a good Halloween special.
Yeah.
There we go.
Perfect. Oh man,
Speaking of Halloween in July, Ghostbusters Night Shift.
Yeah.
This is a 1994 set cartoon. It's going to be set in New York. It's coming to Netflix. The animation style is very much what they're doing with the Stranger Things. I mean, think of like a bastardized version of the Spider-Verse stuff. Mm-hmm. The key, Dan Aykroyd, and I know you already told me, like, I don't give a crap about this.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd's a producer, and it's going to be canon. Does that sway you at all? Because it sways me like crazy.
Yeah, it does very much. It's the only thing that keeps me interested in this in this topic. I love the Ghostbusters. I just watched the first one, and it was so funny because my daughter got so freaking scared of the library ghost, and but I super love the ghost. I even actually enjoy the newer movies with Paul Rudd. Actually don't have.
I really like those ones. Yeah. Afterlife. Yeah,
I actually don't mind them. I mean, I've done enough where I play the Ghostbusters video games. I love Ghostbusters, but this was a turn off until Dan Aykroyd is heavily involved with this thing and he's making it canon. So I'm hoping, anything that expands that world. Heck yeah, I'm involved. I'm in it.
There's also one voice actor who is, I think, at this point, geek royalty. He's a young kid still, and he's a Nepo baby. But there's one voice actor I think that's attached to this that sells it to me, and that's Jack Quaid. He just got done with The Boys. He plays Superman on My Adventures with Superman. Jack is just, he's going to be on the new God of War. He's playing the Cube on the new God of War. Mm-hmm. The fact that he's attached to this is also like, that means the budget's where it needs to be if they're going to get Jack involved, I think.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You said he was in, what was that second? You just said, what was the thing?
He's God of War. He's in The Boys. He's in...
Superman. New Superman series, is that correct? The animated one?
He plays Superman, yeah.
Oh, okay. I just saw that. I didn't realize that was the thing until I was just on HBO trying to watch House of Dragons.
Yeah.
So I'm a little slacking on that one. Yeah, he seems to be a little bit everywhere now, huh? After The Boys.
I love it, man. He's like one of the few Nepo babies that we could all just root for and not have to hear any complaints about it. He's good stuff. So yeah, the idea is it's a scrappy young crew that picks up the suits after the Ghostbusters have disbanded, after Ghostbusters 2. It's 5 years after Ghostbusters 2. They kind of caused the problem for the ghost to be up and running around again. It's very much New York style. Like I loved the 80s New York vibe. We saw it in TMNT. We saw it in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Well, that's Chicago, but it's going to be that vibe as well. So I think the aesthetics are where I want it. And I think this is going to be the Clone Wars of Ghostbusters. Like, think of how much Clone Wars did for Star Wars. I mean, it really gave it a completely second life. The prequels didn't do so well in the box office, but Clone Wars really did well. So what if that's what this does and gives like a whole new layer of lore that fits right in between the two stories? I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. That's a phenomenal comparison if it can't even reach that level, because now you got me thinking like super deep, interesting stories in this Ghostbusters animated show. Do I think that's possible? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? No. But we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on, we got a couple more things here. Mr. Terrific series is happening with Eddie Gathegi, the coolest freaking last name in the world. I don't know why, that just works out so well. He's going to be playing Mr. Terrific again from the Superman movie. This is, I think, how I think I was concerned after the Supergirl movie that because it didn't perform well, people would be like, we're not going to take chances anymore. Put out a new Batman, quick. Get Wonder Woman fast forwarded as fast as you can. I'm glad they're still going to give these other characters a chance, the smaller characters. And I think Mr. Terrific's perfect for this because he's not like crazy popular. You could dive into a lore that no mainstream audience knows. I don't know all of the Mr. Terrific lore. I know about his son Fairplay, but that's about it. How much do you know about Mr. Terrific? You read more comics than I do. How much do you know about Mr. Terrific?
Yeah, but basically nothing.
Yeah, right? And that's kind of refreshing when there's a hero that you don't know about. Like today, the news that came out that it's very early development, so we're not even going to dig into it, but they're working on the Nova movie, finally, for Marvel. And I was like, I haven't read about Nova since I was literally a kid. So now I'm like digging into Nova again. I'm like, that's right, there's a second Nova now and stuff. So that's I love when that happens.
Yeah, so my first take is, can it hold, right? Is this character strong enough to have its own series and be successful with the views and whatnot? Then I thought to myself, well, Peacemaker did it. Well, but Peacemaker was on the big screen first and kind of kind of became a beloved character, and
Yeah,
that carried through with the series. Now, is the love there for Mr. Terrific? I don't know. I know they're doing a little bit more comic work, I think, recently after the
probably.
Superman movie. So I don't know. Yeah. That's kind of
What
where
if
I'm
what
at
if
with
he's
it.
just the angle to a team that comes up? Because what if he's just
I
the
mean,
angle for
yeah.
the Justice Gang movie then?
Yeah, I have no doubts that this will be successful because it just previously with Peacemaker. The Suicide Squad one, or Monster, what's the Monster one again? It was
Creature
Suicide Squad.
Commandos.
Creature Command. Yeah. Commandos, whatever. I thought that was really good storytelling. I really enjoyed
That
that. I
is.
thought that was fun. So I think that will be there. I just don't know if it'll have success because, I mean, I don't know. He's not like a big character.
Do you feel like so here's what I feel. I feel that
Hmm.
this being greenlit despite the success or the lack of thereof of Supergirl is evidence that DC is seeing value in building out their world through spin-off characters more so than making sure to just chase the bucks. And I think personally that that's a good thing because whether or not the movie is successful, I think it's still more important that you establish this world if you want to someday create things like Justice League or some big fighting dark side event. I think that you
Yeah.
want to do this.
Well, I think James Gunn has a plan. It's too early to quit now, right? The second movie with Supergirl, obviously, box office numbers was not as successful as anticipated, but it's still early in his world building, and he's not here to give up yet. So whatever he has planned, he's going to continue to do that plan, whether it be successful or not, and then get to that point where Doomsday, Dark Side, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I think right now. So, um,
Yeah. And
but
we have
I love the
Clayface on the
expansion of
horizon
small
too, which
characters.
is another thing
Yeah.
where it's like just take something off the side and then give it its own genre and
Hmm.
let it go from there. Yeah. I
Yeah.
loved during the before Supergirl, I was watching it with Marco and Jonathan, and me and Jonathan both knew as soon as the Clayface trailer came on. I was like, cover his eyes, and he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
Mhm.
He's like trying to. We're both
Yeah.
covering his eyes. And he's like trying to look around him, and then something else came on. I was like, "Oh no, Marco, cover my eyes!" And he's like barely got his hand up because he can't reach me, trying to cover my eyes. It's just so freak. It's so cute. That's side story.
Uh, it's funny. A
Uh,
question for you for a Supergirl take, right?
yeah,
So James Gunn didn't direct it. I know he was like whatever
yeah, just
involved with
producer.
it, and a lot of the comments I'm hearing is very Guardians of the Galaxy like, right? Which was kind of
Yeah,
anticipated. I told you reading the comic book that I felt like this is going to be perfect for James Gunn because it's very much like that. Well, he didn't direct it. Now, question for you, hot question, whatever it could be. Do you think it was directed, whatever the director was named, or whatever, directed
nobody
to
remember.
maybe impress James Gunn, making it so much a Guardians of the Galaxy, or you think it's just written that way and it's pretty much inevitable?
It's funny you mentioned
And
that because in
maybe
recent interviews, well, he talks about
part
how
two.
James
Sorry.
Gunn said, "Don't worry about trying to connect to the rest of the universe. It's your thing. You do whatever you want with it. It's a standalone thing. It doesn't need to connect to the rest of the universe." And so I think James Gunn, that sentence to me tells me that he wasn't trying to make sure that there's a bond between the two. I don't think the director was trying to impress James Gunn, and if he were going to do that, I don't think he would mimic him. And also,
Mhm.
I think that the color palette for this movie was so much darker than Guardians of the Galaxy movies are, to where I mean, and the other thing too, and this could just come down to writing, and what's why James Gunn is so successful is there's no heart in Supergirl. There's a lot more heart in the comic book than there is in the movie, and that's something that's like a 90-yard take. Something that after I've already thought about this movie for so long, I'm starting to realize that there's simply no heart, let alone nuance. And
Mm,
so yeah, I
yeah.
I don't I don't think this director is going to be doing a whole lot after this, so it doesn't really matter what he did. you know?
That is so I'm the type of person, all right? I don't have a lot of time to see movies. So when the movies come out and the
Yeah.
reviews are like, oh, you can have your opinion. Look, I don't have time for that. Okay. So
Right.
was I
Right. Right.
excited to see Supergirl? Most definitely. But when it dropped, I was a little skepticism
Yeah.
and I
Skeptical.
just did not see it yet. Skeptical, yeah. So yeah, when for you to say
So
there's no
as of
heart
right
is
now, you still
crazy to
haven't seen
me.
it. Let me just jump in real
No,
quick. You haven't seen it yet?
no,
Oh, okay.
no.
Okay.
So I know it's coming out pretty soon, right? I think this month or something for digital. I think I saw something like super early release.
That is
So
crazy early if it's already coming out this month. Okay. Damn.
I
That's a
saw
shame.
some like July 28th. I could be wrong. Maybe it was just a fake thing. I don't know.
That's
But
insane. I'll look into it. Yeah, because
for
that is
yeah, we'll look
insane.
into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh so for you to say no heart is crazy because you have her kind of dealing with her backstory. You have her dealing with the dog. You have her dealing with the other female that she's walking around with. So I'm like, What do you mean you don't feel any heart to that? You think Lobo took that away? Because that was an added character that wasn't in the comics.
So it's funny you mention this. For the network stuff, I ended up having to do a second review discussing really in depth the emotion and stuff like that for this on Fandom Portals, our Australian podcast. And we came away with the idea that honestly, Lobo, if you were to cut every part of Lobo out of this movie, you would not feel his absence in the slightest. That being said, Jason Momoa as Lobo nailed it. He adds a level of Beetlejuice that I wasn't expecting that just made this character, I have to have more Lobo. But they just kind of used this to show who he was. That way we could tease him for future movies. And the other thing too is like, we both know how good Tom King's comic book is. And so when we're coming in with that kind of knowledge, we know everything that's missing from this movie, which is a good 75% of the comic book. And the things that they changed were like not needed to be changed. And just there's so much, when I say it's missing nuance, you're going to feel that in this movie. And by the way, yes, it's coming out on digital on July 28th. So just wait for that.
Can't remember names, but I remember just one random day of a super quick image I scrolled through.
That was good. That is insane that it's coming out in like 2 weeks.
I was pretty blown away. That's why I just kind of like, well, I'll just wait now. Do you think, I know we're talking about this and this wasn't even part of the script, but I want to ask you this one last question. Do you think, and I can see this because of the Peacemaker effect, and I'm going to go back to what we were talking about, Mr. Terrific. You're saying Lobo was phenomenal. Jason Momoa as Lobo was phenomenal. Do you think maybe we branch that out to a TV series? Lobo doing his own thing, given that whole Deadpool, Beetlejuice maybe vibe? I don't know. What do you think?
So Jason Momoa, when asked about this, says that he does want to do a Lobo movie, and he wants to make sure it's rated R, or he won't do it. That being said, and it's funny because like it's just like the Peacemaker thing. I think he would be funner as like a villain of the week. He's going around collecting bounties, and they're just like first season of Mandalorian kind of thing, but rated R. I think that would be a lot of fun. I don't think Jason Momoa would do that. I think he wants movies.
I mean, but he's in a lot of series though. I don't know, but maybe
he is in a lot of series, but he's also a movie star at this point. And I bet he's going to have a little bit of rockitis where he thinks he could just like carry a franchise. But I'm telling you right now, when you watch him in Supergirl, you're like, yeah, he could. He is Lobo. There is no doubt. Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be hard. It's hard to imagine him in a movie. You really have to pack him with some other characters. You know, it's actually a really good way to bring in the New Gods. Is kind of have him dealing with some of the New God stuff because they're big enough to whoop his ass a little bit. So that's kind of a big enough threat for him to have to deal with and like run away from while he's also getting some stuff. And then eventually, of course, that could lead to Darkseid and all that fun.
Yeah.
Things.
Okay.
Some boom tubes and mother boxes and all the fun terms we get to use once we get to Darkseid.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know on July 28th how I feel about the movie.
Yeah. Michael Weatherly and Cote de Pablo reunite as fan-favorite special agents Tony DiNazzo and Ziva David in NCIS Tony and Ziva. Now living in Paris and co-parenting their daughter, Tolly, Tony and Ziva are trying to build a new life together until Tony's security company is suddenly attacked. Forced to flee across Europe, the family must unravel a dangerous conspiracy, stay one step ahead of their pursuers, and learn to trust each other again if they hope to survive. Don't miss the action, suspense, and long-awaited reunion by NCIS Tony and Ziva Season 1 on DVD and digital right now. Now, Dungeon Crawler Carl check-in. Let's do it. I have finished the third book, and I am 4 days away now. 4 days away now until my Audible credit rolls over so I can get the next book because I'm trying to be good about it and not just buying it ahead of time.
Yeah.
But it's killing me to wait. But yeah.
Okay.
Where are you at? How far have you gotten?
Yeah, so I'm finished with the first novel. And I do plan on starting now, you doing the Audible trick too now.
Yes,
with
definitely.
two going forward. Just because I'm reading physical books, different ones. But yeah, I mean, where should I start? I mean, I thought it was... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, where should I go with it? Yeah, you're much further than me, so I don't really know what to talk about, you know?
Well, let's stick with the first book, right? So
okay.
Let's talk about the oh shit moment of the first book when some guy's pissing on the side of the wall.
Yeah.
When that happened, I thought, they're dead. The next book's going to be about a whole different group or whatever. No way in hell they survive this. But Carl comes up with a bit of a trick. if you pay attention to the rules as you're reading the book, you'll notice that, there's little rules and stuff like that. Everything that's ever mentioned or everything that's put into his bag, you could assume will be used sometimes, like you're a World of Warcraft player, and you just keep putting stuff in your bag because eventually you might need it someday. He's doing exactly the same thing, or Skyrim player, it's the same thing. And by chance, one of the rules that he learned actually was helpful. And I was just like, oh, I'm in now. I'm so into whatever Carl's thinking as he's thinking like this. And I thought it was a really fun trick. But when that thing was summoned, that rage elemental, I thought it was clock out, man. You're done.
Yeah, it was cracking me up a little bit because I just think of like the slow motion sequence of this guy just wanting to take a piss, right? And it was just freaking out. And then what was it, like an arrow being shot through his head? Yeah, and he just like without a care in the world, just gotta get this piss on the wall, right? So that actually cracked me up. I enjoyed the interview scenes. They just had to play a specific role, guess whatever views, but it was the interview scene of Death something. I forgot what it was called, but basically where Frank and Maggie, what was the girl?
Oh yeah, they're there too. Yeah, as like other guests, or whatever. The glurp interview that everybody.
Glurp, yep. I thought that was interesting to learn a little bit of backstory about them, but also I like the story and the fact where you kind of hate them for it too, right? Essentially, where they had to like, well, maybe there's more to the story. I don't know. And,
there is, yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So for like book one, knowing of the story that you had to like kill the daughter or something like that they killed her because I don't know, she was her, but it was kind of Carl's fault, right? If I remember correctly, which that was
because Carl set up a bomb inside of a rat, and the little girl got it instead of Frank. Yeah.
Yep. So I thought that was pretty intense. Like I feel like I was there, like feeling the emotion.
And then even just the building of the world, I think is so fun. Like with Maestro, the host of that show. Okay, so his family, we're gonna find out more about them on like floor 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
But like he's part of the royalty. He's a prince. His older brother actually pays for the show. And so you start to learn about like the different factions and stuff like that go beyond this game. And I think that that's part of the one of the layers that I find so interesting. And they're going to go on different kinds of interviews. They're going to keep going back to some of the interviews, and the situations that they're in will change for those interviews. And I really like that too. You were introduced to the new character that I had been mentioning, Mongo. What is your take at this point on Mongo?
Okay, hold on. Which one's Mongo?
The raptor.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought it was, I think it's kind of funny, to be honest, with Queen, Princess Donut.
Princess Donut.
Is like the master of this raptor or whatever, but it's funny that, you're watching her train the raptor and whatnot, so it's little funny clips. I think it's kind of comical when it comes like, oh, he's biting, rolling around or running and chasing each other or whatever. But that was funny because I seen like the arts of like the other novels and that there's a raptor on it. So it's funny to be like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like a character, I feel like. And I'm assuming
he's gonna end up
he's
gonna be the size so she can mount him. So she'll eventually be his mount. One of my favorite fan arts is the Akira, like the Akira walking up to his bike. Or the where that guy's walking up to his bike. They do that with like Mongo and Princess Donut's walking up to him. And,
okay. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
He won't like gain sentience or anything like that, but he will become a character in his own right in that way. And he will eventually get big enough for her to be able to ride him. And he will get his own little upgrades like everybody else is too.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to tear things up because I think Mordecai was warning them about the raptor, about how vicious they can be or whatever, and it's like that's
they
crazy.
Can be very vicious. They're
one.
hard to be controlled. Yeah, Mordecai is a very what an interesting character. The second book, there's so many things I'm trying to not say, especially like Mordecai stuff, because you haven't gotten to the second book. He changes, as a reminder, they mentioned in the first book, he changes race every time they go to a different level. So I'll give you a little spoiler here. He's going to be an incubus in the next one. So if you think like World of Warcraft, the succubus, the guy version is called incubus. He's going to be incubus in the next one. And so like the voice acting, which you won't notice this, but his voice acting changes every level too, because now he's a little bit different. And, and they do such a great job. And you're going to get the new class and race choices right off the bat in the first book or in the next book.
Okay. Something that I liked and I almost didn't read it was the bonus content at the end. And I'm kind of glad I did because it just seems like now this world could potentially, after like, doing these games for how many ever years, right, is now going to be at a state of where it's going to be vulnerable, right, where it could collapse. We can see that because now these characters are, if I remember right, like realizing what they're doing or where they're at or something like that, if I remember correctly.
A couple things that are going on with that. Yeah. First off, those are not in the audiobooks. So that is physical book only.
Oh,
I am saving them. I'm building those up and then I'll read all those parts.
Okay,
and there's
okay.
the third book introduces an element that is all that, and you start to realize like, okay, we're gonna break this machine. That happens in the third book, and it really kicks into gear.
Okay.
And that's what you're teasing to right there. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I didn't, apologize if it was a spoiler or something for you, but I mean, you kind of got it anyway. But yeah, it was this little like shamara, it's like the shaman, but the orc shamans or whatever that they ran into like earlier in the first book, that they're kind of like something snapped in and be like, hold on, what's going on here? Situation that happened. So, and like that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's something that's that's something that's bled out more into the third book as well. You had heard about it a little bit, but basically NPCs' memories are wiped every session. And so that's kind of what they're realizing. And then they're like, oh wait, so what's that mean for the memories I do have? That's implied.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Got it.
It's tough. So when you get to that third one, or when you get to that next book, let me know. And let me know what you think about the audiobook, especially because I'm excited to hear. You're the only person of all of us that are reading the book now, and there's a good 7 or 8 of us, that's physical book first. Everybody else is going straight to the audiobook.
No.
And then we already talked about,
like I said, but
yeah, we already talked about. Unfortunately, you're the one person who can't participate now. Unfortunately, we're going to be doing the tabletop game when that comes out. So we're going to have D&D sessions that are Dungeon Crawler Carl. So if you want to fly from Virginia every month,
why not?
That would be great.
Yeah. Let's book those flights. Yeah, right now. I'll wait until they go on sale.
Try to get like 12 tickets at a time. You get a discount. The Baker's dozen or whatever. 13th free.
For sure.
Oh man. All right, guys. Let us know how far you guys are into Dungeon Crawler Carl. Obviously, we're big fans of it. We keep sending memes to each other and stuff like that. One of my favorite memes that I was put in Discord is to the Mormon kids with the white shirts or whatever. Like, can I tell you about our Lord and Savior Dungeon Crawler Carl or whatever?
Yeah.
I love all the join my cult memes and stuff.
Yeah.
This one's so blast. Yeah. Let's look at the network so Frank can calm down a little bit. We got Fandom Portals. Just did a video about Masters of the Universe. I am on their next video discussing loss and grief and Supergirl. It's a really good discussion that we went pretty deep on that one. Outlast podcast. We're going to be watching the new season of Big Brother. We're going to be sharing our social media posts and articles about it. This is our very first time watching Big Brother. And the reason we're watching is because they're bringing on some Survivor players over to Big Brother. So we'll be kind of watching for that and giving some updates over there. Over on Patreon, we have a brand new interview that just came out all about Fairy Tale with the director Stephanie Hubbard. That interview will eventually be on Geek Freaks in the coming weeks, but it's on our Patreon right now if you guys want to check that out. And over at Distance Nerding, they just did the Reno Silver Con and Silver Age Con. And so they had a lot of fun over there in Reno. They do that one every year. And they have some panels that are going to be coming up on their YouTube channel. So join for that. We also have a new show coming out, 2 new shows coming out in August. Stay tuned for those. Brand new podcast joining the network. It's going to be a lot of fun. What is your recommendation for the week, Squeaks?
Yeah, so I have 2 recommendations. One pretty old, one fairly new. So my first recommendation, because I finally beat it, just took some time, kind of got distracted of things. It's a video game, Death Stranding 2. Man, Kojima.
I own that game, and I've never played it before. I should play it.
You on the first one or the second one, or both?
Oh, you know what? I own the first one. I don't own the second one. Sorry, I've never played the first one either. But
yeah. Okay. Yeah, play it. So Kojima just I sit there and I just think of like this guy. Oh, if you could do an interview with him, please do. Please, he's probably just...
look, I would love to, but that's I know that one's outside.
Yeah. But his mind, I just want to explore because I'm sitting there, right? The game starts as you're delivering packages, whatever. You're building up this network of communications because of Death Stranding happened. The world is basically just destroyed. Yada yada yada. Tell me how the ending is so beautiful, and the ending takes 4 hours to beat. Because just it's kind of like that chapter, right? It's ending and then it's just taking forever, which is annoying because both games do it. It goes from that to there's a ship above you that's shooting down with a turret as you're trying to get to a certain spot, but you have a gun too. You're blowing up robots, and then it's like Attack on Titan, monsters just popping up and just and then with oh my gosh, I think his name, but Daryl from Walking Dead, right? Norman Reedus, right?
Norman Reedus.
I'm having a freaking guitar solo battle with Troy Baker, whatever, at the top of this like mountain thing or whatever. I'm just like,
what the hell?
What the fuck is going on, right? But it's so beautiful. Oh my god. Like
Kojima must just be like high the entire time when he writes the scripts of this thing.
Dude, there's something there, man. It's almost like it's a masterpiece though. But I'm gonna say Death Stranding 2 because I finally beat it. Like I said, it only took a while just because of distractions. But then my fairly new one is gonna be the Heart of the Naga novel that just had that English kind of rework, whatever you want to call it, translation of it. And it's gonna be for the upcoming game that was advertised from PlayStation, Birds That Drinks Tears. So check that out because it's very, very, very fantasy like. People compare it to like Lord of the Rings, which I kind of can see where that's going. What different races, a group of like, I guess you could say Guardians of the Galaxy, where each character is like basically a different race. Yeah, come together and try to work together. So yeah, very, very fantasy like. A lot more fantasy than I thought it was going to be.
That's the one that got a game based off of it, huh? That's
the Birds That Drinks Tears. Yeah, Birds That Drinks. The bird that drinks tears.
Yeah, man, I remember thinking that game looked so cool. I wanted to dig into the lore. So the book is worth reading, huh? Okay, I'll have to check.
Yeah, so I'm fairly in the beginning of it, but yeah, it's very very, very fantasy like. Where one point where they're flying kites on this rope to try to get onto this, I forgot the name of it, but this like flying whale in the sky for some reason. I'm like, wow, what is going on here? But yeah, very, very cool.
That's giving me some like old school anime vibes. Yeah, I like the way that sounds.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
man. Okay, I forgot about that. That sounds really good.
Yeah. That's why I had to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl real quick to get started ready that.
So did you finish the first book, or how far did you get? We're gonna get into that corner in a second.
No, I finished the first book.
Finished it. We're gonna get into that second. Let me do my recommendation, and then we'll do the corner. Okay, my recommendation is gonna be Predator Badlands. That's a 5-part miniseries. Okay. The last one came out. It was on my pull list. And the last one just came out this week. Last week. I'm sorry. Written by Jordan Morris, who's been on the show, and he's also on Good Mythical Morning and stuff. And I'll give you the premise. It's a lot of fun, and it's very fast read. Of course, it's only 5 issues, but there's this island where a rich guy owns the island, and he hosts this event for all his rich friends, where they bring in a bunch of humans from around the world, and some of them have different enhancements. You know how it is in the Predator/Alien world. And they do a Mortal Kombat style fight to generally the death. And all limitations are essentially off. And like a lot of the people are there because like they need money for their kid, or they need whatever. They need to be there they need money to pay for the parts that they use to enhance themselves. One of them is this. If not, they'll be repoed and they'll be dead. Suddenly, a hunter joins the fight, and that would be Predator, when he sees that, I go for the violence. And so Predator comes in, kills a couple of fighters in the middle of the ring, and now is hunting everybody else down. And the rest of the fighters, one of them happens to be ex-CIA, so he's like, we've actually been tracking aliens for a little while now. We know about this guy. And they kind of team up together as a band, and then Predator's kind of like quasi-aligned with them to try to survive the rich guy's military that happens to be on the island as well, to protect them. And it is so dope. So it's only 5 issues, guys. Check it out. Ton of fun. Very, very fast paced. Each episode starts with like a little bit of a backstory for each of the fighters, so you get a little bit of a fun little world building thing into the Predator/Alien world. It's a blast. Predator Badlands, y'all. Check it out. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We appreciate it, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
The World Cup champion will be crowned this week, and you can trade the tourney through the finals on Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform. Right now, England is trading at 44% to beat Spain, meaning 100 trade pays out 176 if they win. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code HOOPS to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.